So today we're going to look at settings and events in literature, which is on page 13, and we're going to move on to page 14 in the grab and go. So the secure skills that we need for 5th grade are to make visualizations of the setting in order to describe it. So when we're making visualizations, it means that we can picture it in our brains. We're also going to develop working on how the plot unfolds. So how does the storyline develop from the beginning and the introduction till we get to that problem? And then the rising action as it gets more interesting to the climax, and then the resolution at the end of the story. So that's something that we're developing, and we're working on laying out the plot of a story that way. Secure is also to compare and contrast 2 or more settings or events in the same story or poem. And then a separate skill would be to compare and contrast 2 or more settings or 2 events into separate stories or poems. Vocab that we need is resolution, the way that the author closes the story, and plot, the order of story events including a problem the characters face and knowing how that problem is solved. So stories follow a plot. Story maps are good, so this is a story map over here, and they're good for looking at each part of the story, the characters, the setting, the events, and the solution. The story as a whole has a flow. Writers start with an introduction of the characters and setting of the story. After the story has been set, a problem of a story is introduced. The solution of the story problem is not solved right away. Instead, there are many smaller events that add tension during the rising action. Then the highest point of the excitement in the story happens at the climax. The problem of the story is solved. The writer ties up the loose strings and the falling action in the story ends with resolution that helps the reader feel like the story is complete. So down here, we're going to add these things. So this is our story plot, our story arc. And we are going to say that right here in the beginning, this is when the author introduces the characters in the setting. So this is the beginning of the story, and it's not really very exciting in the beginning. But then we get to the main problem of the story, which adds a lot of interest. And after this point, after we learn what the problem is, then there are multiple events, because now we're reading 5th grade books that have more parts to it. It's not a simple story, especially if we're going to read something that's 200, 300 pages. If it was simple and there weren't other events, it would be a lot of nothing on those pages. So all of these things here, it's where it's getting more and more exciting. And then we get all the way to the top at the climax where there's the most tension. Generally, this is where the main problem, there is a conflict, there's some sort of action that's happening at the climax there, and then the story starts to calm down, things are all getting tied up in the falling action, and then in the end we have the resolution of the story in which we can finally say, the story is over, it is good. So that is what we're looking at with the flow of the story. Moving on to page 14. We are going to look at comparing and contrasting these things in the story, like the setting and the event. So the first one is Aesop's Fable. Aesop's Fable, the dog in the shadow. It happened that the dog had a piece of meat and was carrying it home in his mouth to eat in peace. Now on his way home, he had to cross a plank laying across a running brook. As he crossed, he looked down and saw his shadow reflected in the water beneath. Thinking it was another dog and another piece of meat, he made up his mind to have that also. So he made a snap at the shadow in the water, but as he opened his mouth, the piece of meat fell out, dropped into the water, and was never seen more. Beware lest you lose substance by grasping at the shadow. So I drew, in terms of visualizing where it's taking place, I drew the brook and the plank crossing it. So there's the setting of this story. A little brook with water and a plank going across. So then I'm going to take a look at this dog in shadow, and I'm going to start filling out some of the things here. So the setting is a plank over a brook. The problem is that the dog wants the meat that that other dog had. And in the events, he sees that the other dog has the meat, and he snaps for it. And the solution is that then, really, it's not a good solution, but it's what happens. He lost all of the meat because he was selfish. I'm going to compare that to another story, The Fox and the Crow. A fox once saw a crow fly off with a piece of cheese in its beak and settled on the branch of a tree. "That's for me, as I am a fox," said Master Renard, and he walked up to the foot of the tree. "Good day, Mistress Crow," he cried. "How well you are looking today! How glossy your feathers! How bright your eye! I feel sure your voice must surpass that of all the other birds, just as your figure does. Let me hear but one song from you that I may greet you as Queen of the Birds." The crow lifted up her head and began to caw her best, but the moment she opened her mouth the piece of cheese fell to the ground, only to be snapped up by Master Fox. "That will do," he said. "That was all I wanted. In exchange for your cheese, I will give you a piece of advice for the future. Do not trust flatterers." So my setting is the tree. The crow was sitting in the tree. The fox was at the bottom of the tree. That was the important part of the setting. And then I'm going to go back up here and fill in the setting for the fox and the crow was a tree. The problem for the fox and the crow is that the fox wants the crow's cheese. The events for the fox and the crow is that the fox compliments the crow's singing, so she will drop the cheese. And then in the end, the solution that happens is the fox gets the cheese and the crow gets nothing. So now I want to compare and contrast these two. So what was true for both of these? In the setting, they were both in nature. For the problem, this is what they really had in common. They both want what someone else has. Now the dog, it was an imaginary shadow dog, but the fox really wants the crow's cheese. In the events, both the crow and the dog aren't being smart. The actual details are different, but we have two animals not behaving intelligently. So in the end, because they're not being smart, the dog and the crow both lose. So there is our comparing and contrasting of two separate stories, their events and their setting.